Okay then guys, what's going on? Cloud Plays here. Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at something that TheArcan actually commented on with regards to sort of modded gear per se. This is quite a piece that people have been pushing towards me to take a look at and to see what the response of TheArcan actually was. It's regards to a ambassador actually utilizing essentially a third-party tool to be able to get hold of gear that you wouldn't normally get, or an exploit of some sort, of which they are currently looking into. Although I don't want to claim that that is definitely the case, it does look pretty skeptical to me. So we're going to take a look into it right now. If you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe, post notifications turned on, and make sure that you jump into the Discord. The link is down in the description. You guys will find around 400 like-minded Outriders over there who are looking to help each other, play with each other, and just become friends. It's absolutely amazing. With that being said, if you're watching this as published, then we are also live on Twitch right now, so go and check it out. The live stream will also be down in the description. Let's jump into this. Okay, so we do have a couple of things that have been hitting up on Reddit right now, one of which is this right here, which is how Laserbolt getting 3 different tier 3 mods on purple gear and profiting off of legit builds. This does look a little bit sketchy to say the least, but irrelevant to it. The one that we're wanting to look at is this one here, and this one does show a very interesting one where it says, how do they get rolls like this? Mine is always static with Judgment Enforcer and Clip Combustion. Now this is something which is quite a touchy subject, obviously, for the actual company Square Enix and PC are going to find this a little bit odd, although there was a comment made with regards to the ambassadors of the company. Outriders has a load of ambassadors, myself I am one of, and they do make a bit of a comment on there, of which I do kind of want to again make comment on. This does seem to be something that I do quite frequently, but we will have to have a look at what's going on here. If you guys don't know what I mean by this role right here, we can see it's got Mage's Rage, First Things First, and Deathadrome, whereas if you look at my role right here, you will be able to see that it comes with Judgment Enforcer, Clip Combustion, and then the third mod is obviously completely random. Now, he does dive into exactly what is going on with this and whether it's actually legit or something or other, and what they're actually going to do about it. So we're going to take a quick look at what this is stating right here. So as you can see right here, the TheArcan actually did do a very, very lengthy response, of which I feel like he covered absolutely everything. With it being an ambassador, it obviously does cause for a lot of skepticism with obviously who it is that they're bringing on board. Now it says here that, hey folks, I do understand the frustration here and appreciate the desire to see something done. This is the bit that's interesting for me, and I don't really know how to take it, and I've been looking and I can't find anything, but it says, on the other hand, the sub is currently skating over witch hunt theory. We look into this here. Now, while I will take the time to look into this, I won't be putting anything on public trial, especially considering that I count at least one outraged person, which is not an ambassador in this thread, who is equally guilty for using unorthodox methods to get ahead in the game, which is cracking, by the way. I will say it. Please don't use any third-party apps or anything to really like boost this game. It's pretty pointless considering majority of the game is, well, basically just for leveling alone. He does state that he will be discussing the matter with Laserbolt, as well as checking internal tools to understand what, if any, inappropriate conduct has gone on. So again, we will see exactly where this one goes, and they are going to be looking into it. They handed the ambassador group back to our content creator management team a while ago, so I don't normally deal with issues such as membership or applications myself, though I do offer input and recommendations where required. Now, there is a few things in here that they do state. They goes through to state that first thing first, there is of course a bunch of big no-nos included, but not limited to. Anyone caught using third-party programs or cheats will be expelled from the ambassadors group. Anyone exploiting players and or charging players based on fraudulent information will be expelled, and proven theft of other people's content is also something that will be taken very seriously. Now, this is where I kind of have a bit of a moment with the whole thing as far as like the ambassador program. It says, with that aside, there is a philosophical question to consider regarding acceptable conduct for an ambassador. This is difficult to say the least, because obviously as ambassadors we shouldn't be using cheats, we shouldn't be doing that sort of stuff, because it's not a way to promote the game. Although we do promote the game for practically nothing. I will be completely obsolete with that one. There is pretty much nothing. We do obviously promote the game on the basis that we do enjoy the game, and being an ambassador is a bit of an added extra. We do get a bit of added points and things that we know about a little bit before, but aren't things that we can utilize in any way, shape or form. So it is a little bit of a double-handed sort of backing, if that makes any sense. Now, they say, let's say for the sake of the argument, that Laserbolt acquired such items in this particular torment and agony through in-game exploits that was aware of, that no third-party tools were used, but this torment and agony is a result of a whole bunch of manually crashing or force closing the game at awkward moments to end up with something unusual. This is something that we do see quite a lot of inside of the game. It is kind of frustrating that it does happen, and it does, although we'll have to see how this one turns out. But it does state that off the top of my head, here is a list of known exploits of where promoted by multiple creators or ambassadors, including those of good standing. You can reset your PC clock to refresh the vendor's special offer. Didn't know that. Force close the game to refresh quest rewards. Earthborn Gear God Roll exploit, the force close of crafting exploit, skip a new character to the end, and Tiago to exploit resource scaling. I don't really know how that's relevant. The Apocalypse tier leveling exploit. Again, these are things they haven't mentioned. Like, these are things that they haven't addressed. The Apocalypse tier leveling exploit is something which is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But at the same time, they haven't even mentioned anything on it. They've not changed it. They've not updated anything. There's nothing that they've done with it. The Final Arbiter retries exploit. Yes, it's an exploit. We'll move on. And the Boulder Dash exploit, which we know is a one-hit demon for going through trials and just taking out all of the ads. Now, such exploits have the same effect. They allow players to skip content, and this is done by either skipping levels or cutting short time, such as by almost instantly providing players with items. No. Arcan, you were doing so well. This I don't agree with at all. I feel like exploit is something which is in-game, okay? An exploit is something that they have not caught up on, that they have not changed. This is ridiculous. I understand that, obviously, if you force crash the game at a certain time, it'll change your mod, but, like... Okay, the mods are very precise, they are very OP mods, and it's not likely that that's going to have happened via a crash, but anywho, I'd say that with a pinch of salt, take my word as you leave it, but anywho, they go on to state, in short, ambassadors primarily relying on or promoting exploits they find frustrating, and ambassadors needing to be aware of the Twitch YouTube algorithm in order to be successful. Still frustrating that algorithm pushes them to create certain content, but it's far more understandable. Now that I do appreciate that. I think that is a very big factor. They go into a few other things. They say, for example, certain ambassadors provide very constructive feedback during the World Slayers beta, and a lot of feedback worked its way into the launch day build, and I would be happy to get such players back into early access content in future. That's really helpful. That is really good. It is really good. Again, as much as it's really good for us to be able to play it, we don't play it on our main accounts. We're not able to keep any of the progress, and also it's kind of a little bit more beneficial to them than it is for us. But I mean, it's neither here nor there. We won't get into that one too much. Where creators consistently fail to live up to conduct expectations, we do also consider removing them from the program, but we have to be fair and equal with such decisions. So in wrapping up, and he does say thanks for reading so far, you're welcome. I've read all of this for the record. There is a bit skipped. If you want to read all of it, links in the description, go and check it out. It says that he'll be working with the content creator team as well as their analytic team to investigate the matter raised in this thread. The outcome of the investigation is something we'll be carefully considering, but the result of it will likely be mainly conveyed privately to individuals involved, and the wider ambassador group may also receive a clarification of the expectations required. Now, I again have a very opinionated sort of personality. My opinion on things is always quite public to a degree. I am going to kind of stray back a little bit from this, mainly because I don't agree with everything that's said here, or like always the expectations of an ambassador, considering the reap and reward of one party to another is definitely one-sided. But this right here, we got Mage's Rage, God Roll, Deathrodrome, God Roll, First Things First, God Roll. This is practically the guy that uploaded a full video on First Things First is Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear. He literally covered how this is probably one of the most OP mods that people are not using. It is mental, and if you look at what we've obviously got here, you know full well that the rolls aren't the bloody same. Anywho, we're going to see what happens with that one, and I'm not going to be publishing a video on regards to what the outcome of it is, because realistically, I don't care. I feel like this is something that people need to look at, because I feel like actually this is something which isn't accepted in the eyes of PCF and in the eyes of SE, and you guys promoting it in towards like Reddit and stuff like that. As far as ambassadors, content creators that are promoting it, fair dues to you. I don't disagree with it at all, and if this is a third-party app, then it's beyond ridiculous, and I don't really understand the need for it, but it's neither here nor there. That's what we got time for today. Massive shout out to TheArcan. It was a really well read article, although I wouldn't necessarily agree with the expectations on all of it. That's just my personal opinion. You want to approach that any further, then be my guest. But this is something which I definitely don't agree with. I don't like the whole aspect. I can deal with exploits, and like he states, the YouTube algorithm does push us to do that sort of thing. It's always kind of something that does really well on YouTube, so it's going to be something that we all cover, and it's frustrating for them, but they allow it all the same, and I feel like that's more than thankful for that, because I feel like we wouldn't have any ambassadors otherwise. Anywho, if you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe, post notifications turned on. This has been myself, Cloud Plays. I'll see you guys in the live stream, link in the description. Thanks again for watching, appreciate your faces, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.